Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Grim Ripper. My name is Jason and I am the Grim Ripper. Today is going to be our test run for our Travel Time Tuesday series. In this series I will open packs that are at least 20 years old. Tonight is just a random collection of test packs that I had lying around. Normally it will be an entire box of something from a particular year. And so we'll just be going back in time at least 20 years to do breaks on Tuesdays. So if you do like this content, please be sure to hit that thumbs up. If you've not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you can get notified when new videos pop up. So let's get right down to business. I've just chosen about 25 random packs that I had lying around. These date from the late 80s on up into the early 90s. So these are all at least 25 years old. They are from what is termed the junk wax era. But as we found out from the video last night, junk wax sometimes is not full of junk. We did do a 1991 Upper Deck box break last night, and we pulled the Brett Favre rookie from that box. And that Brett Favre rookie in Gem Mint 10 condition is going for about $125 right now. So you can find some good gems in these old packs. So let's break into these tonight and see what we can find. We'll start the night off with a pack of 1989 Bowman. 1989, the comeback edition. So I think this might have been their return into the hobby from a long absence. Let's see what we can find besides some really old gum. Alright, here we go. So we have, oh, right there, we have a Ted Williams. That's pretty cool. This is a redemption card of some sort. Official sweepstakes rules, so they must have had some sort of giveaway with Ted Williams involved back then. Here we've got Paul O'Neill, Mike Henneman, Mike Scotia, Doug Jones. Can't read some of these autographs. That's Bo Diaz. Mike Williams and Mitch Williams, Rafael Palmeiro in his Rangers uniform. That's cool. And who is this? Boy, these signatures. Ken Howell, Doyle Alexander, Jim Clancy, and Dave Schmidt with the wax stain on the back. So these particular cards, these 89 Bowman, I mean, they're the photography's not great on them. They're cut pretty well. The borders are pretty even on them. Not much gloss. They're sort of a semi-gloss card, it looks like. So, I mean, it's an okay re-entry into the hobby, but not great. Alright, next we have some 1989 Donruss. 1989 Donruss. Collect all 26 MVP cards featuring the Warren Spahn puzzle. Alright, and these, I think they had Diamond Kings in this set as well. Let's see what we have. There's Warren Spahn puzzle piece. Oh, look, we've got a Mark Grace. He's got a little bit of damage on the edge. This would be his second year card. I believe 1988 was his rookie card. So that's a second year Mark Grace. Got the nice orange back on these. Got a Will Clark. That's a good one. Mike LaValliere, Gerald Perry, John Franco, Ed Whitson, Greg Matthews, Lance Parrish, Dave Smith, Bobby Thigpen, Cecilio Guante, Brian Downing, Pascual Perez, Carney Lansford, Kevin Seitzer, and Greg Swindle. Probably the Will Clark is probably the best card out of that pack, and maybe the Mark Grace. I think we're going to save the 89 Fleer for last, because I believe that one has the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie in it from Fleer, so we'll do that one last. Here we have some 1988 Fleer. I collected a lot of this set back in the late 80s, so I actually have boxes and boxes of loose cards from this particular year. But I did like this design. I liked the red, white, and blue with the white borders. There's Barry Larkin right off the top. He is a Hall of Famer. So that's nice to get Hall of Fame guys in here. Good card there. Got Mike Schmidt and Gary Carter. I think they're both in the Hall of Fame. There's Dave Meads, Fred Manrique. There's Andre Dawson, an excellent Cub. Rob Deere. Tom Glavine. It's an early Tom Glavine card. Let's see. Yeah, this would be his rookie card. He was with the Braves in '87 and then '88. So that's possibly a first or second year Glavine. Dave Vale. Eddie Milner. There's Kirk Gibson, famous Detroit Tiger. Carmelo Martinez. Eddie Murray. I believe he's a Hall of Famer. That's cool. Tim Belcher. There's Reggie Jackson, definite Hall of Famer there. This was in his later years. Look at all of those stats. All the way from 1967. This is 20 years of stats on the back of that card for Reggie Jackson. That's one thing I do miss on some of the new sets. They don't put all of their stats. It's neat to be able to go back and look at stats for like 20 years on there. Next we have some 1988 Topps. This pack would hail from the year after I graduated high school, so the stats on here would have been my senior year of high school stats. Okay, we've got Scott Bankhead, Mike Jackson, there's Nolan Ryan, Hall of Famer Nolan Ryan. This is going to be another one that's just packed full of stats. From 1966 all the way to 1987. 21 years of stats right there, Nolan Ryan. And he would have gone on to play for even a few more years after that. One amazing career. Dave Dravecky, Larry Sheets, Mike Flanagan, James Steeles, Greg Brook, Lee Gutterman, Vance Law. He actually is the baseball coach at Brigham Young University, which is right down the street from me. There's Joey Meyer, Lee Smith, Ricky Horton, Rick Cerrone, and Dan Pasqua. I think the best card out of there is probably that Nolan Ryan right there. Next, we have a 1988 Donruss Cello pack. Let's go ahead and tear this one open. Wasn't prepared for cello pack. I needed scissors, not an X-Acto knife. So, see if we can get, there we go. It's tearing now. Get into this first section. There wasn't any big names on the front of these stacks. This year, I think that's the Stan Musial puzzle in 1988. Got Todd Bensinger, Cal Daniels, Kevin Seitzer, Ernie Witt, Robbie Wine, Bobby Meekum, Mike Campbell, Jim Presley, John Morris, John Davis, Bob Stanley, Buddy Bell, Dave Winfield, Albert Hall, and Mike Davis. I didn't see any Hall of Famers in that particular stack. Move on down here to the second stack. Got Juan Berengue on the front there. Jeff Calhoun, Wade Boggs, MVP card. Wade Boggs is a longtime Red Sox. Bob Welch, Lloyd Mosby, Manny Hernandez, Storm Davis, Dave Righetti, Vaughn Hayes, Mickey Hatcher, Andy Van Slyke, Andres Galarraga. There's a Diamond Kings Glenn Hubbard, Steve Lake, and Jimmy Jones. I think Wade Boggs was probably the best one out of that pack. So when we open up full boxes of a particular product, I'll let you know the good cards that we'll be looking for out of whatever box we open on our Time Travel Tuesday. Kirby Puckett, that's a good one right there. Jeff Stone, Sammy Stewart, Oral Hershiser, Tommy Hare, Bud Black, Lee Smith, Devin White, Mike Young, Rafael Santana, Ted Power, Willie Wilson. Eric Davis was one of the big rookies when these were being collected. I think, let's see, he'd been in the league for a while, but his cards were still a popular one. Chris Brown. Nobody too big in that one either. I'm going to go back 1 year earlier, 1987 Topps. And these are the fun wood-grained ones. And 1987 actually has some good cards available in there. Mark McGwire is in the 87 set, I believe, as well as Barry Bonds. Let's see who we get here. Phil Bradley, Len Dykstra, Mike Lavaliere. There's a Darryl Strawberry. He'd only been in the league for about 4 seasons at this point. Jim Clancy, Ed Milner, Kurt Young. That one's a little sticky. What do we got there? Bill Allman, Dan Petrie, Glenn Hoffman. There's an all-star Teddy Higuera, Greg Nettles, Dave Lopez, Cliff Speck, Ozzie Virgil, Mike Schmidt, he's an all-star, or I mean a Hall of Famer. And finally, Luis Aquino. Alright, this next stack is moving off into the 90s. We'll start with this 1990 Donruss here. See who we can pull from that. Wax is pretty sticky right there. Alright. That must be Yastrzemski, just judging from the last letters of the name on that puzzle. Alright, we got Greg Minton, Dave Stewart, Billy Ripken, brother of Cal Ripken. There's a Dave Stewart Diamond King, Wally Backman, Tony Fernandez, Brian Holman, Mitch Webster, Ernest Riles. There's Barry Bonds right there, 1990. He'd been in the league for a little while. That's probably the best card so far. John Smoltz, Jose Rios, Roberto Alomar, Joe Maugrave, John Kruk, and Jesse Orozco. That Barry Bonds is probably the best one in that. Little rough cut on that edge, but not a bad looking card. Okay, 1990 Major League Baseball from Score. This, I think, was probably their second or third year of doing baseball cards. And these plastic packs, they were always weird to open. They didn't tear like foil and didn't just open like wax. Got Barry Lyons, Jody Reed, Alan Trammell, Hall of Famer, Mitch Williams, Junior Felix, Pat Tabler, National League 1953 MVPs hologram, Roy Campanella, Roger Salkeld, Dennis Cook, Jeff Weatherby, Jeff Musselman, Jose Alvarez, Jeff Hamilton, Al Newman, Marvell Wynn, Luis Aquino, and Dave Justice. Dave Justice was one of those big rookies back then. I'm not sure how long he played, but this is his first or second year card. It has his 1989 stats on the back, so this might be his rookie card. Yep, 1990 rookie says right there. So that's a good card there. 1990 Fleer. So I'm assuming 1990 Fleer will have second year Ken Griffey cards in it. Let's see if we can pull a Ken Griffey out of this pack. Alright, Oakland Athletics sticker. Greg Maddux, Ted Higuera, Dante Bichette, father of Bo Bichette, Al Newman, Dean Wilkins, Frank Tanana, Bruce Hurst, Jose Gonzalez, Gino Petrali, Dave Martinez, Mark Gabizka, Mike Pagliarulo, Walt Terrell, and Dan Schatzder. No Ken Griffey Jr. there. Okay, now we have some early Stadium Club. We have Series 1, 2, and 3 to look at, so we'll get a little sample of everything from this particular offering of Stadium Club. Again, these were really nice cards back when they came out, and they're still nice today. These are a full color front and a full color back. So these are really nice cards. These are pretty stuck together though. Yeah, they're really stuck together. They're almost like a little brick. So we've got Doug Drabek, Dale Murphy. Wow, those are stuck. Steve Olin, Juan Berenger, John Kruk. Wow, sticky. Pat Borders, Todd Van Poppel, Mike Gallego, Al Leiter, Joe Orsulak, Orlando Merced, Brian Holman, Rich Gedman, Dave Cochran, and Chili Davis. Takes a minute to go through those, being stuck like that. Let's see, these are 1992, so any kind of Griffey or anything that comes out of those, they will have been in the league for a few years already. And I didn't actually do any really big research on these to find out who the rookies were in every one of these years. I assume that we'll eventually be opening full boxes of all of these products, and so we'll know what we're looking for at that point. Got Darren Dalton. There's a Will Clark. These are really nice pictures. The photography was really good on these. Rob McDonald, Ed Sprague, John Vanderwall, Steve Fry, Sean Hare, Mike Harkey, Chico Walker, Mo Sanford, Jeff Reed. There's a John Smoltz, Doug Pyatt, Jay Howell, and Joe Gray. No real big names in there. Will Clark and John Smoltz were probably the most well-known ones there. This is going to be Series 2 of this Stadium Club. That one's really badly cut. His name is cut off the bottom. Jeff Husson, Mike Timlin, oh, here's a Member's Choice. This must be their parallel version. That's a Will Clark Member's Choice. Got the nice gold foil at the bottom there, and Member's Choice spelled out. There's a checklist. David Haas, Frank Tanana, Tim Burke, Jeff Facero. There's a Tom Goodwin, Sid Landrum, Sid Bream, John Marzano, Scott Servais, Scott Cooper, and a really... that was rough cut for a minute. It's just a picture, though. John Livingstone. Not too many familiar names in these old sets. Unless they're Hall of Famers or someone that you actually watched, I don't really recognize too many names. This is Series 3 of that 1992 Stadium Club. This is the only Stadium Club we're opening tonight, so that's actually good. I don't think I like peeling the cards apart. Alright, who have we got in Series 3? We've got Ed Nunez, John Smiley, John... who is that? John Wetland, Rick Cerrone, Mike Stanley, Alvin Davis. Here's the Members' Choice, Doc Gooden, Archie Cianfrocco, Craig Colbert, Terrell Hansen, Arthur Rhodes, Dwayne Henry. Here's another Members' Choice. There's a Barry Bonds right there. That's a good-looking Barry Bonds. Members' Choice parallel card. That's probably the best card in this pack. Eric Hillman and Ron Darling. Yep, that Barry Bonds is probably the best one from all of those Stadium Club packs that we just opened. Okay, now we're into the early 90s. We'll save this thick one for last. Let's start with the 1992, actually 91 score. We'll get that out of the way here. Series 2. Mike Moore, Bruce Ruffin, Charlie Liebrant, Rick Rochelle. There's a black and white Doug Jones, Greg Minton, Scott Bankhead, Chili Davis, Tom Pagnazzi. Here's a Bo Jackson, Master Blaster. That's a cool card. A little bit of information about Bo Jackson on the back there. Brian Barnes, Paul Merrick, 1941 highlight. We'll be talking about Mickey's Muff. Must be a little Mickey Mantle story right there. Ken Daly, Andres Thomas, Gene Harris, and Kevin Elster. This is not sure what year this is actually. Collector's Choice from Upper Deck. Let's take a look and see what this is. I don't think I even remember these. Those are nice. It looks a lot like Stadium Club on the front. Nice full bleed photograph to the edge. This is a checklist. Upper Deck Collector's Choice, 1995 maybe? Tom Pagnozzi, Mike McFarlane. Now these are a much glossier card than most of the Upper Deck stuff at the time. So this is maybe their premium thing. Let's see what we got here. J.R. Phillips, Delino DeShields, Ernie Young, Pat Hentgen, Jose Olva, Albert Bell, Indians, and who's that? Mark Aker. Mark Aker and Henry Rodriguez. I wonder if these are all prospects or something. No, because that guy was on the Dodgers for a few years. Huh. I was just not familiar with that particular set. They're pretty nice cards, though. Nice and glossy. They have the chrome foil autograph on the front there. On some of them, not on all of them. But on some of them. Pretty good looking card. 1992 Fleer. Roger Clemens career highlights is what the little inserts would be in here. 1992. Oh, I remember these. I remember this design. Kevin Moss, Jim Lewis, Arthur Rhodes, Rudy Sinez, Francisco Cabrera, Francisco Oliveras, Joe Orsulak, Rick Wilkins, Kim Batiste, Eric Karros. I remember his cards were a big deal. Eric Karros rookies when back in probably, well, 92. This is his, got his 91 stats on it. I don't know what he ever did, though. Dave Stieb, Tony Fernandez, Dennis Lamp, Joe Oliver. Here we've got designated hitters, Harold Baines and Wade Boggs. Henry Rodriguez, a prospect, and Junior Ortiz. I do remember that style. Oh no, here we go, more Stadium Club. 1993, Series 1, 2, and 3. See if these are a little less sticky. They are a year younger than the other ones. It doesn't feel like they're going to be very much less sticky. But I do like this card right on the bottom of the stack. Got a Kirby Puckett right there. It's a nice card. Kirby Puckett, Vince Coleman. Oh yeah, that one's all weird. The name is not printed. It's like they got the foil misplaced on that one. Mike Blowers, John Dobson, Tony Phillips, Bob Wickman, Andy Stankiewicz, an info card, 1993 Stadium Club. Oh, this is an info card about what the set consists of. Let's see. Series 1 through 3, Master Photo. Interesting. Ben McDonald. Kenny Rogers, not the singer, but the pitcher. Phil Plantier. Mike Schooler. And Matt Noakes. Matt Noakes was another rookie back in the day. Everybody was chasing the Matt Noakes cards when his rookie came out. Series 1 again. Going to be getting to that 1989 pack here in a minute. See if we can pull ourselves a Griffey out of that thing. I do appreciate you stopping by today. Next week when we do our actual opening, it'll be a single product and we'll know what we're chasing. And I will announce tomorrow probably on my video what the buy-in will be for that Tuesday item. And I will show you what we're going to be opening at the end of this. Okay, no one amazing has come up yet in this pack. Charlie O'Brien, Tim Belcher, Tim Laker, Rick Sutcliffe, longtime player right there, Rick Sutcliffe, Greg Vaughn, Damon Easley, and there's Bobby Bonilla. His rookie cards were another one that people were chasing when they first came out. Series 2, Stadium Club, 1993. On the bottom there, got Kevin Gross on the bottom. Now you can see that this actually has an imprint of the pack on that card. Jack Armstrong, Brett Boone, Dennis Eckersley. He was a long-time player, well-known. Chad Curtis, Bill Wegman, John Wetland, Melito Perez, Mike Lavaliere, Thomas Howard, Derek Bell. Oh, there's a Darryl Strawberry. That's probably the best card in this pack. Darryl Strawberry. Greg Myers, John Burkett, and Kevin Gross. So Darryl Strawberry, biggest one out of that pack. So tomorrow is Wednesday, and I've been trying to think of a good Wednesday series to do. And I think I'm going to do a Whatever Wednesday. And what that will be is I will just open whatever I want. It could be sports, it could be non-sports, it could be a candy bar, it could be anything. It will just be whatever I want, so we're going to call it Whatever Wednesday. So I hope you'll tune in for that. That may or may not be a buy-in, depends what I'm opening, but I'll let you know ahead of time. There's a Greg Maddux Member's Choice. That'd be the parallel. Greg Maddux, Atlanta Brave. Steve Reed, here's another info card. See what this is all about. Collect an exciting record of this historic expansion year. New teams, late-breaking trades, and record-shattering hits are all captured in 3 exciting series of 1993 Topps Stadium Club. Each series, these cards will be in addition. Each series of Stadium Club Baseball will contain a special chase card. These cards will be in addition to the 750 cards in Series 1 through 3. They include Master Photo winner cards, special insert cards, and first day production cards. Your chance of getting one of these special cards is 1 in every 8 packs. So they're not too rare. I don't think we've seen any yet. Harold Reynolds, Jeff Reardon, Dan Wilson, David Need, Todd Whirl. There's Dante Bichette, father of Bo Bichette, Randy Bush, Chipper Jones. That would be a pretty early Chipper Jones. Been in for a few seasons at this point. Manuel, that's another one that's been printed weird. Manuel Lee and Willie Wilson. All right, that's the last of the Stadium Club. Chipper Jones was probably the best one in that pack. All right, this is a 1993 Upper Deck, Series 1. A nice, clean Upper Deck that we're used to seeing right there. White borders, not a whole lot of flash on the front. Willie Randolph. These are kind of sticky. Derek Lillenquist. Nice thick cards, too. Lenny Harris. That's not a bat flip, but a helmet flip. That's pretty cool. Scott Scudder. Delino DeShields. Kurt Stilwell. Pat Howell. Checklist. Wally Joyner. He was one that everybody was chasing back in the 80s. Juan Guzman. Paul Assenmacher. Dwayne Ward. Ryan Thompson. And a Steve Hosey. I thought it was going to be a Barry Bonds for a minute, but we've got a Steve Hosey. And finally, Manny Alexander. Of course, that was a star rookie card, so it couldn't have been a Barry Bonds in 1993 Upper Deck, right? Open this cello pack from, I think this is 1991 Topps. And I think when we do our Time Travel Tuesday next week, the opening will go a little bit faster, because we'll be opening all the same type of pack. They'll be all from the same box. It'll be a little bit easier than this. Oh, right on the top, look who we've got. Barry Bonds. 1991 Topps Barry Bonds. Cool. That's probably going to be the best card in this pack, right? Moises Alou, Dan Wilson, Colby Ward, Mike York, Frank Viola, Randy Milligan, Dave Anderson, Phil Plantier. There's a Jose Canseco All-Star. We've got 2 of the big names from that time period. Tom Hare, Scott Coolbaugh, Juan Samuel, Sparky Anderson manager, Randy Velarde, Mark Gardner. There's Ricky Henderson, another one of the big names. He'd been in baseball for a while at this point. Almost, well, over 10 years anyway. Luis Aquino, Tim Belcher, John Moses, Mike LaValliere, Chris Gwynn, Hubie Brooks, Dave Smith, Keith Comstock, Greg Hubbard. There's Kenny Rogers again. Instant Win Game, got a couple of those. Tom O'Malley, Donnie Hill, Pat Combs, John Dobson, Tony Phillips. There's a Tom Glavine. He'd been in for a couple of seasons by this point. Tom Glavine. Steve Finley, Tim Teufel, Jack Daughtry, Alejandro Pena, Terry Kennedy, Tim Jones, Bill Wegman, and Roger Craig. So I think Barry Bonds was the best one out of that stack. Barry Bonds. All right, 1989 Fleer. This one we are looking for the Ken Griffey Jr. Let's see if we are lucky enough to find one. All right off the top we have Cleveland Indians. Dave Svam, Greg Minton, Mark Portugal, Manny Trio, Mike Henneman, Jimmy Jones, Kevin Brown and Kevin Remmer, Jesse Orozco, Mike Jeffcoat, Tom Foley, Charlie Lee Brandt, Mark Grant, Richard Dotson, Alan Ashby, and Jack Howell. No Griffey. That's too bad. All right, so that is the last pack for tonight. Next week, for our Time Travel Tuesday, we will be opening this box of 1991 Low Series Upper Deck. Now, this edition has the short print of Michael Jordan is what we'll be chasing in this. That's the big card in this set. However, when we do open this, I'll put up a list of the other good cards that can be found in these Upper Deck boxes. There are quite a few good ones that in Gem 10 condition are worth, $20, $30, $40 levels. So we'll put a list of those up when we open this next week. So this box of 1991 Upper Deck Low Series is going to be our Time Travel Tuesday for next week. This also can carry Nolan Ryan autographs. So that's another chase card in this. So if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and also click that notification bell. And we will do a much more focused opening next week. And tomorrow I will announce the buy-in on this. It won't be an expensive one. These boxes aren't really expensive, but the cards you can find are sure worth it. So I'll let you know tomorrow on my video what the buy-in will be for next week's Time Travel Tuesday. In the meantime, everybody have a great night, and we'll see you next time here with the Grim Ripper. Good night.